You're listening to Heart with Saima, the podcast show for people searching for that courageous person within us who wants to be inspired by listening to stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I'm Saima Dillon, your host. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here. Let's dive right in. Sim Aulakh is the founder of EstablishCred, a premier PR and direct response digital marketing agency. Sim has been published on Yahoo Finance, MarketWatch, Fox, NBC, CBS, Disrupt Magazine, Kivo Daily, and Forbes. And without waiting anymore, we're going to bring Sim on and we're going to start our discussion and our interactive session with him. Hey, Sim, welcome to Heart with Saima. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Saima. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
It's an honor to have you on here, and we've been talking for the past few months, and and then I was traveling, and I actually was really excited. I thought that you had relocated to Costa Rica, so I thought that you were going to be connecting from Costa Rica, but I'm sorry that you're back in Dallas. Actually, Frisco is right around the corner from me.
Yeah, we're neighbors.
Yes, we sure are. So what made you go to Costa Rica and what made you come back from Costa Rica?
Yeah, no, great question. So my wife and I were living in Dallas, Texas for almost a decade, working in the whole corporate America. And both of us left our corporate jobs back in 2019 of July to pursue being basically digital nomads. And we chose Costa Rica for several reasons. One, I'd been there before. Just with friends. And secondly, it's not too far from home. So if there was any family issues, had to come back. It was a quick flight back. And also just we both love water. And they had the most beautiful beaches. And we both basically have our own businesses. So we can work from anywhere in the world. So we thought it was the best opportunity at that point in time to go live there and have a new experience, right? Experience something brand new that neither of us have ever done it before. So it was exciting, and I definitely don't regret it. It was the greatest thing I probably ever did in my life, moving to a different country. But happy to be back. You take things for granted when you live in the U.S. when you go to other countries that are not so easily accessible or available. So although I miss Costa Rica, I am just as happy being back in America because I got the simple things that I don't get out there. If that makes sense.
So that right there is, on one side you had that beautiful water and those soft white sand beaches, and on the other hand, having the flexibility to be, have your business literally like in your palm, where you're mobile and wherever you go, your business goes with you. That is just so amazing to have that opportunity and ability.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. So it was a lot of hard work to get to that point, and it still is. It's not easy. There's challenges every day as running a business, any business. So it's not that we don't do anything. We work hard every day to live this kind of lifestyle, but you have to maintain it also. So it gives me pleasure of serving people and helping people around the world to just be extraordinary, right? And just show by example what we can do. And we coach other people to live the same type of lifestyle as well. So because we're nothing ordinary or extraordinary, right? We're just regular people.
Absolutely, and everyone is, right? And everyone is ordinary yet extraordinary in our own way. And it's just how we use these words. And I feel the power of words, right? Whatever flows through our mind and whatever flows through our brain, and how it sets I think the words in our brain, it sets up the energy within our soul.
Right, correct. It's all a mental game, right?
Yes.
Business skills, anybody can learn it, and whatever I do, anybody can learn it. But it's the mentality you come with, right? Having to deal with failures and being able to overcome those obstacles and challenges. That's what sets you apart in the business world. If you look at all the businesses, most of the concepts are simple, right? But it's the ups and downs of it that most people give up. And you have to be consistent and just stick to your passion, your purpose. And the other key I'll tell everybody is, find your purpose. That's the biggest thing. Don't just do something to make money. Do what you have passion about, what you're passionate, because then it becomes natural and people see that and feel it off of you, right? And then you start attracting those people into your world. Initially, when I got started, it was, when I was much younger, it was about making money, but that transitioned. And when you start having the mindset of serving people and helping people, the money follows, right? But money's the secondary thing. It's not the first thing, but it's just a byproduct of your hard work with serving other people. So that's just something I've learned through my journey, right? When I started and where I'm at now, it's all about servitude.
So how about I hand over the screen to you and let you give us an introduction?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Aulakh. I live in Dallas, Texas, and I've been here since 2007, actually. And I worked in corporate America for many, many years, almost a decade plus, actually. And just got burnt out, beat down. If any of you work in corporate America, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Struggling health, relationships. And I just decided that I need to do something different. And I started to research online on things that I can do just to afford a better lifestyle. And just, went through different ventures through time, right? Nothing happened overnight for me. It was years and years of struggle and pain. But I stuck with it. That was the key. I didn't give up when things got hard. And essentially, I found my passion and I went towards the digital agency realm, which is what I do today, where I serve clients to help them, increase their revenue and serve more clients that they basically work with. So that helps them with their families. So, for example, with COVID happening, a lot of people went out of business, but the clients that we work with, majority of them, they actually were able to stay in business. Not only that, keep their employees employed, right? And those people had jobs. So that's a big thing, right? You're impacting people's families, people's livelihoods. You don't think about it when you're just, doing some type of digital work for them, but it really has an impact through legacies to help them, obviously stay afloat during these difficult times, specifically in the pandemic that we just, that we're going through still. Hopefully things get better. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was always about entrepreneurship. I always wanted to, be my own boss, but I never knew how to do it. And the way I basically, I think, accelerated all of that was through personal development of me reading books, going to associations, and then honestly, self-talk. That's one of the key things, in my opinion, is what sets people apart, is what you say to yourself on a day-to-day basis, because you do have a lot of challenges day to day. Everybody has challenges, obstacles, right? There's no such thing as somebody who has a perfect straight trajectory in life. Life is more ups and downs, like a roller coaster. So for me, the mindset is the most critical thing. If anybody's thinking of doing something different, doesn't have to be a business, can be anything. Fix the mind. Everything else will follow. That's just been my experience, and I know that it can definitely help transcend what anybody is trying to do in their realm. So, yeah.
So I think that right there is, it's a very powerful mindset. It's a very powerful mindset.
Yeah.
Literally talking about the mindset.
Yeah, it's key. I mean, I never read a book in all of high school and even college. I didn't read books. I was an average student, average by, not all A's, but maybe 1 or 2 B's. In Indians, that's average. So, but regardless, I hated reading, but I knew I needed to change myself if I wanted to become the person that I always wanted. I couldn't get there with the old Sim. I had to change and transform. And as reading those books, you start finding yourself and you start relating. And as you relate, you want to read more, and then you start changing. You don't even realize it, but people start telling you, wow, you're so different. You talk different. You speak better. You just look better. And so it just made sense to continue doing it, right? It was all positive. Nothing negative came out of it. And I started making better friends, started attracting the right people into my life to bring my purpose. Obviously writing down your goals, that's something that, that's common across the board. Everybody should be writing down what they're doing. So there's a vision. But these are just practical things that you can do on a day-to-day basis to achieve whatever result you want to go after, right? It could be you want to get into real estate. Somebody who's never done it wants to do it, right? Absolutely, right? Write it down, right? And then focus on it. And don't try to do 100 things at once. They say, jack of all trades is master of none. Stick with one. And you'll absolutely, with that focus, single-minded focus, will definitely transcend and transform your life, regardless of whatever goal it is you have. And that's the key. Don't do too many things at once. Stick to one thing.
Yeah, right there, I think we are talking about my favorite subject, which is we're talking about energy.
Yeah.
And I feel that so I've started being on a radio show on Fun Asia 104.9.
Oh, yeah.
They have a women empowerment show called Women's Voice in the mornings. So I've joined, they asked me to join them. So I started doing that recently. And I think, and I talk about your energy a lot on the show because, it's just through my own journey in life. It's just me trying to figure out, because obviously, life is, the graph goes up and down.
Right, correct.
And as the graph goes up and down, when you're in the low moments and, there's hardship and you're hit by challenges and it impacts your energy accordingly.
Yeah.
And I think it's very difficult right there.
It is. It's very challenging. And I'll tell you, at least from my side, what I've done is I'm big into working out. So every morning, I'm a runner. So I run every day between 7 to 9 miles, 5 days a week.
Oh, wow. Did you say 7 to 9 miles?
7 to 9, right? So somewhere between there.
5 days a week. Whoa.
But I need that for that mental stimulation.
Okay.
I do meditation while I run. So I kind of.
How do you do meditation while you run?
It's this. I'm self-talking as I run, right? Because it's very difficult to run at the speed I do, because I have to talk myself to keep going. But it's all a mental thing I'm doing for myself. I don't care about the weight loss and all that stuff. I'm already in shape, but it's the mental stimulation that it gives me, that helps me just perform better as I go through my day and talk to clients and work with people. I'm just more energized, right? Like you were saying, energy. That's how I find my energy. For me, it's working out first thing in the morning. For others, it's different, right? It's meditation, right? Sit quietly for 15, 20, 30 minutes. That's what my wife does every morning. But everybody has their own different way. But I agree with you 100% that you must have full energy and eat right. That's very important. You must eat properly. It makes a huge difference. Don't eat those junk foods, right? You're going to feel
that chocolate cake, which I just ate this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like on a day-to-day, if you're eating junk foods and stuff, you just don't feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
So how do you make yourself feel good? It's self-talk, energy, and then, self-talk, energy. I guess those are two key things, and eating right.
Your body's your temple. Be mindful of what you put in it.
Yeah, it's so true though. I mean, think about it. Go eat at McDonald's or someplace, and then see if go do like a podcast like this. Yeah, right. You're not gonna have any energy. Right? You're eating more natural things that you feel better. I'm not a vegan or anything. I'm not promoting it. I'm not vegetarian either, but I do see the benefits of it. It's so critical. I mean, your body is your temple, right? So take care of it. Because
and even your what thoughts you let into your mind, right?
Yeah.
So it's like guard your mind and be mindful of what you let enter, because that right there, that right there can create chaos.
It is, and most of this, there's huge mental health issues in this world right now, and you see all these catastrophes happening, and some of it's related to gun control. Majority of it is mental illness, right? Because not being able to control the mind, it's so important. That's why they're reading the books, reading positivity every day, affirmations, just speaking to yourself positively, right? Because negative comes by default in the brain, right? We all know that. You're going to think negative regardless. When you wake up throughout the day, you have to put in that positive, more positive than negative, right? It's common sense. But most people are so what's the word I'm looking for? So used to being in the negative mode, right? Especially in our communities, right? Everyone is just always speaking negative or putting people down. That's not the way. You need to uplift people, right? When somebody starts something brand new, uplift them, encourage them versus putting them down. Right. I got a lot of people putting me down when I started, right? But I kept with it. I kept talking to myself because I knew one day I would do well. So, but that's a common thing, right? Always focus on putting more positive in than negative. And how do you do it? You speak to yourself constantly, and put in those words and speak in the present tense, not future, not I will be a successful business owner. No, I am a successful business owner. Speak it now.
It's right there.
And
it's
your
already
brain,
done.
Yeah, it's already done. Law of attraction, right? There's so many great books out there, right? And people can just pick up a book or, on their Kindle or whatever, and just read it from there. But it's so important. I don't think I'd be where I'm at if I did not get into that self-development years ago. If I did not invest the time and energy, there's no way I would have what I had, regardless of skill. The mind is to me, it's the business that I do is like 90% mind, 10% skill, honestly.
Yeah.
So that's just my experience.
Well, absolutely. I think the key to life. So let me ask you this, Em. What do you think is why do you think we are in this world? What's the purpose of our existence? Since you are very philosophical, and so am I.
That's just books regurgitating out that I've read. But yeah, I think everybody has their purpose in life that they're supposed to do while being on this earth, and everybody's purpose is different, right? So I think sometimes you don't find your purpose. Sometimes your purpose finds you. You might think you want to do a certain thing in life, but that's not exactly what you do. You'll see people change careers all the time because they're chasing something else. They're not chasing a purpose. At some point in time, that purpose will find them, and then they'll start glowing and start transforming, and then they'll start gravitating more towards it and working higher towards it. Some people never find it because they never go through self-development, right? If you don't develop yourself, how do you expect to become, what God had, whatever faith you believe in, intended for you, right? Why you were put here. So ask those questions, right? Right. If you don't feel like you're living your purpose or living the best you can be, find out why, right? Go and learn about it. Like, learn about yourself, right? There's so much knowledge out there that anybody can go and just literally pick up a book, read some content. Don't go to some random websites and find stuff. Anybody can write garbage on there. Go to credible people, right? And understand what they're saying, and then start implementing, right? Nothing happens without action, right? So you have to take action for yourself. And also, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to be stuck where you're at, right? The best thing is you completely transform your life. And then anything in the middle is good, right? So it's basically you have nothing to lose but everything to gain at that point. So, but you have to be wanting to change.
I think having that desire to change is key.
Exactly. You have to, yeah. I mean, if I had a desire to change, that's why I went through the process. But if I not had that, yeah, then I would have gave up initially really quick. Because who wants to read books, right? When you've never read books, I had interest in it. Who wants to go to these associations, development, and pay those $1,000? But some people will be negative and say, oh, it's a waste of money. No, it's not. If you're going there looking for something, you'll find it, right? And
intention, desire.
Yeah, exactly. So, all these, there's so many ways that you can change your life and learn a new skill, right? You don't have to go and do a business just to feel like, all your friends are doing it. You can go and just learn a new skill, maybe painting, maybe art, maybe that's your interest, that's your passion. You love drawing. I'm just giving an example, but it could be anything. Go learn a skill, go online, take an educational course, right? There's so many platforms out there that are teaching from credible people, and you can learn a new skill set. You can advance your career at your current job. If you're working a job, you want to excel, go learn a new skill so that people see you as having more skill sets and you can get promoted, go higher. There's so many ways to improve yourself, and I think people that don't either look for excuses or just are just happy with the status quo. They're complacent, and with me, I always say complacency is the root of mediocrity. Yeah. We're not here to be mediocre. We're here to be powerful, impactful, people on this earth, to change people's lives, right? At least that's what my goal is. And then I'm not done yet.
That's what it should be. You've got to be able to touch lives.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a good saying, and I'm trying to remember now. It's not how much money you have, but how many people are better off because you lived. And that's always something that I remembered I heard from some seminar years ago, and I still remember it. So true, right? No one cares how rich you are. It's how many people that you have around you.
Statistics show that it takes 3 years. No matter how wealthy you are, it takes 3 years for people to forget your wealth, about your wealth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But if you've touched lives,
yeah,
and how you made people feel,
right,
they will always remember that.
Very true. That's very spot on. And like building a legacy, right? What am I passing on to, let's say, kids and that kind of stuff, right? So it passes generations and generations. Doesn't always have to be money, knowledge, right?
Well, your purpose has to be authentic.
It has to be. And people will see it right away, right? So you have to be authentic. But when you find it, it'll start glowing out of you. You'll start attracting those people, the right people in your life, right? If you're not that person, you're not going to attract the right people.
Yeah.
So you have to become that person first before you bring others on, right? You have to be the leader before you can lead.
Well, I mean, you have to be authentic, right? You have to, your intentions have to be clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
tell me, what put you on this journey?
Going back, what I was saying earlier is, I always had this vision of being an entrepreneur since I was a child. One of the first things I did when I was very young, when I was 13 years old, is I got into music and got into doing like DJing.
Okay.
So I used to just family parties, just, play music and stuff. And I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I had a passion for it. I still kind of do, but I've lost with that. But then I started doing parties for other people I didn't know. And they were, obviously, these are paid parties, paid gigs. And again, remember, I'm 13, 14 years old.
Wow.
And, they're paying, I'll tell you exactly, between $500 to $1,000 for a DJ party back in those days. When you're 13, 14 years old, that's a lot, right?
That's pretty awesome.
We're doing 3-4 hours of work, right? You start at 8 o'clock, you end by 11ish, and you're done. And you get to play music, which I loved anyways. So
yeah.
So I think I began my entrepreneurial stuff way back when. So when I first started a job, and you do the 40, 50 hour, whatever it is, and then you see your check at the end, you're like, wait, I remember doing so much less and making so much more, and I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
So I think initially when I got my first job, I always looked for opportunities, and I've been into probably every single kind of business you can think of, right? And when I was young, 21, 22, I explored because I wanted to learn. I was hungry, right? So I was looking for information, but I wasn't the right person. As we talked about earlier, you have to become the person to become that, to actually start a business and be successful. So I wasn't that person. So the reason I struggled, what I learned in retrospect is I had great opportunities around me, but I wasn't the right person at that point in time until I went through that transformation with, like I said, the books, the association, the biggest thing, the self-talk. And luckily I kept exercise as one of my things from a childhood till today. I'm 36 years old, but I still do what I do. And I love it. It's my passion. But that's the journey. Why I'm doing where I am is I believe it started at that age, my backstory, and just through jobs. I've gone through multiple jobs, and I had some great jobs too. I'm not putting jobs down whatsoever. I've had some great jobs, great people I worked with, and I'm still friends with a lot of people that I worked with. It's just, being confined to a certain space for majority of your day. When you have that entrepreneurial spirit, the frequency is not there in the employee and entrepreneur. It's just, it doesn't make sense. So you're not giving it your all. And I knew I had to break out of that. So I put a plan in place. I said, okay, I know what I need to, bless you. I know what I need to do in order to get out and pursue what I really want to do, my true passion. And I put in the work, right? And then through struggle and sacrifice, got through it, and built something. Obviously, I've continued, but it wasn't easy. A lot of people think, oh, doing well. Like, no, there was a lot of trouble, struggle, everything. Right? Everybody sees the top of the iceberg. They don't see that bottom piece, right below the water, where all the struggle, the pain, the money loss, that stuff, right? So,
Yes.
And nobody cares about that. They just like
But entrepreneurship is an addiction. It's I mean, I've seen extreme losses, I've seen highs, I've seen lows.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been a realtor for 16 plus years.
Yeah.
And even through the lowest points, I mean, it was never there to leave.
To quit. Exactly. It's a bug, right? It's the bug we have.
Yes.
And you just don't quit, right? That's just not in the cards.
Yes.
I have to do this. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to do this no matter what. I don't care what you say. I'm going to do this. And you got to have that kind of focus and that mentality. But as an entrepreneur, most people have it. And the lows are very low, but the highs are very high. But it all goes back to mindset.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent with the mind to be able to handle both. Sometimes making too much money can be a problem too. A lot more stress. Oh, I have to do this now. I have to do this for this person. Make sure that I do it right. A lot of other stress comes into it. And then, of course, when the downside's there, but again, it's just no matter when it's good or bad, the constant thoughts, all those things that you're putting on a day-to-day basis doesn't change no matter where you are in life. And that to me is key on how to, truly become your true self.
So throughout your journey, what's been your biggest high?
I'll be honest. For me, like when I hear like clients tell me that, hey, thank you so much. You've been a savior for me. I've struggled with these things, and you were able to come in and transform this, and you've helped my wife, my kids. To me, that means more than all the money, right? When somebody tells you what you did for them, right? And that's one of the highs I get of what I do, right? It's just helping people, right, that need it. And I look for those people because I know they need it, and I know I can help. So that's my way of giving to the world. I have a certain skill set that I know I can do. I can do it very well. And I stick to that, and I tell people that. But I think for me, that gives me a high. Of course, the running, that gives me the high, the stimulation.
Yes. The endorphins.
The endorphins, right? I mean, you know how it works. And
they're addictive.
It really is. I think to me, it's just helping people, and it goes back to the serving. You become addicted to serving people because you know what it can do for somebody, but they don't
just change someone's life.
Yeah, like when you sell, like let's say you sell a house to somebody, right? You're giving them like a brand new house. Sometimes it's their first home, right? That's always exciting. I remember when I bought my first home, I was so excited. I never owned a house in my life, and I got my first one, and I was just ecstatic with joy. That feeling you give to somebody, it's intangible, and it's something that gives you so much pride and joy when you see that on your client's face. I feel the same.
Touching lives.
What's that? You're touching lives, right? Exactly. So maybe that's the first house in that whole family's legacy, right?
Yeah.
Now everybody sees them, and they, the reason they had that is because of someone like you, right? Who helped them. And that's how you change lives, right? One by one. You can't change the world overnight, but you can start with one. And slowly.
I always feel, Sim, that it's literally one life. I just want to touch one life, and it has a ripple effect.
It's the domino effect. Yeah, you touch one, right, and it transcends, and that's the beauty of it. And that's where the passion comes from. It's that. Everything else follows that comes after all those things, but the serving people and helping people and being genuine about it, with no other ulterior motives. That's how you come across as somebody that people want to have in their lives.
So on the opposite side of the spectrum, what has been the lowest point?
How much time do we have? Oh man, I'll tell you one thing. I have a very wonderful wife, who stood by me when things were very low, when we first, were together. So I think, I got lucky there. where most people would have not have been too happy with some of the struggles that I had to go through as far as my journey. But gosh, one thing I'll say, I wish I started even sooner. Right, I got into personal development earlier. I had heard of those things, but I always pushed it to the side because, again, I was not the right person. And I think had I just started earlier, I could be, light years ahead mentally than where I am now. Not that I'm not there yet, there right now, but it's hard to put into perspective as far as the struggles. There's so many. But the only thing I can tell you is how I overcame all of it is again through the talk, the personal development stuff that I mentioned with the associations, and then of course the reading and all those things. So everybody has challenges. I don't care who you are, where you live, your background. You're gonna struggle. You're gonna have problems come up, but it's how you deal with them and come out of it that's going to determine your trajectory in life. I truly believe that if you be a problem solver, that's what entrepreneurs are, like you and I. We solve problems, right?
All the time.
So that's all we are, right? So,
something that struck out and that inspired your life and that brought a turning point besides your family, people, something you attended.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of people that inspired me along my journey. I've gone to many associations, I've heard many talks, and just from hearing people's stories that have inspired me to do more at these personal development type of associations and conferences that I've gone to. But reading the books, hearing stories, because then I start relating, because some of the stuff you read in the books, like they've gone through the same thing as you, and they tell you how they overcame it. So those types of things have always inspired me. Of course, I have family that inspires me too, but I know we're not including them for this example. But my wife inspires me every day. So she also is a business owner, just like me. So I have weaknesses, she has strengths. I have strengths, she has weaknesses, but she complements everything that I do. So constantly motivating me to you can do more. You can do more. So I think for me, she definitely inspires me a lot because she has a very good work ethic. So I think there's definitely that component there. I watch a lot of documentaries too, so of successful people that I want to emulate. So when I watch those, to me, I get so inspired. I have favorite actors and stuff like that. I listen to them, I follow them. I see different quotes, and some quotes just inspire me a lot. So I'm always trying to find ways to stay motivated, stay inspired. I listen to podcasts. Again, there's so many different channels because we're in the information age. There's so many ways to find the information you want, but again, you have to go out and want to get it. But it's there at your fingertips if you just look for it.
It's a choice. I think life is, it's consecutive choices that we make, because some work out, some don't, but some will teach you lessons, others will give you rewards.
Exactly.
But that's what it's all about. It's about just learning and just evolving and keep moving.
Yeah. Take risks, take chances in life. Right?
You have to.
You have to do it. I mean, if you want to live a different life than everybody else, why do you want to be ordinary, right? You have one life, right? Give it your all, right? Even if it doesn't, don't live with regrets. That's the worst thing. Even if you failed, at least you tried, right? You didn't just not try at all. Give it your all. Don't live with regrets. That's the worst.
And it might open a different door for you.
Exactly. Your other passion might find you, right? Like I was saying earlier. So sometimes that happens. We don't find it, but our passion finds us through some other way. And I think that's very powerful. And everybody has a purpose. We'll go back to that same point. Whether you find it or someone else finds it for you, it's given to you. It's just you have to be receptive to it. Is the key.
So what next?
What next? Good question. I don't know. What is next?
Now you have your company, you're doing well. You have already, you were a DJ at the age of 13.
No, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, and continue helping people as much as I can. And eventually want to start a family. with kids and all that stuff. So that's my next step, at least on the family side. Business side, just again continue what I'm doing, and I'm happy with it. I've been remote before COVID, so so nothing changed on me when COVID happened, as we were remote always. But yeah, the other thing is helping other people to live the life that we're living, to do the same thing if that's of interest, right? If that's what somebody wants to pursue, I can teach that to somebody. So that's something I'm thinking of putting together, like a mentorship program, a mastermind, where I can help somebody start from zero to get to, having a successful agency, right? So it's been in the back of my mind, but something that I might do in the future, just because I know that a lot of people probably want it. So my way of giving back in a different channel, on top of that. But yeah, I think the family is priority. Family life balance, family work balance. With corporate, I just couldn't do it. And for me, family is everything. So it just, what I'm doing now just makes sense and allows me, affords that opportunity. But everybody can do it. Anybody can do it. It's not just me.
Well, I know that when we spoke on the phone and we had a conversation, you were, you were talking about your mom and how, you wanted, you're trying to build your mom up. And so if you would like to give her a shout out, you're more than welcome to do that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So my mother is retired. But she started her own. She's been working since the age of 19 years old, coming from India, and just literally recently retired, but always wanted to start a business. And she just started a clothing brand here in the Dallas area. It's called Pashi Boutique. Her name is Brigitte Aulakh. So she's started her boutique. She does a lot of trade shows here in the Dallas Plano area, actually. And she has a whole boutique set up in her house. So if anybody's looking for Indian suits, saris, or just general, outfits, she definitely has a lot of inventory. So, but yeah, I mean, that's another motivator, right? Someone at, she's 60 plus and doing what she's doing, right?
It's never too late.
Exactly. That's the message. It is never too late. So for those listening, it doesn't matter how old you are. Don't think that you're too old to start something new. You can do it at any time. It's like, as Saima said, it's never too late.
Absolutely. So I think on that note, Sim, I'm going to let you give your final pitch. I'm going to once again hand over the pitch, not the pitch, the screen to you, and let you give your final shout out for yourself, whatever you want, and here you go.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Saima. I appreciate it. So thanks everyone for listening in. Again, Sim Aulakh here. I am the founder of EstablishCred. It's a PR firm and direct response agency. So I do work with a lot of local businesses and startups to help build awareness, branding, authority, and credibility through a variety of ways. So if you are a local business owner or just any type of business, small to medium size, and you're looking to get more clients, get more leads, get more sales, increase your ROI, lower your costs, definitely feel free to reach out. I'm at sim@establishcred.com. Sim Aulakh on Facebook. You can find me. My link should be there somewhere, as well as I'm on Instagram, the Sim Aulakh. So feel free to reach out, and I would definitely love to have the conversation with you. But one thing I'll always tell you is, no matter where you are in life, never give up. Pursue other things. Become a better person of yourself. We all can be better, and always try to help other people. That's what life is all about.
Absolutely. I do appreciate you being here. It's always a pleasure having people and learning from them and learning from my guests and see, the wonderful, amazing things that they are doing. So thank you for being here, Sim. I'm going to remove you from the stream so I can end the show.
Sure. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. So it was a pleasure and honor. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
All right. Take care, Saima. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So time just flies. And Just want to thank you guys for taking the time out to be here and to hear what we shared on the podcast today. If you hear anything that inspires you and that encourages you in taking that next step in your journey, I would love for you to join my email list by emailing vip@saimadillon.com. And of course, if you know if this podcast will help you or someone else, and if it can help me change someone's life, just take 30 seconds to simply share the link to the podcast in a text or post it on social media. And I will be so grateful. Until next time. And, we did Wednesday simply because we had some technical issues yesterday. So I thought, okay, it's been a while since I was traveling. So let me just have the show today. So thank you all for watching, and thank you for being here.